Imagine young couples who have saved for years, working full time and hoping to start a family. They finally find a starter home in their budget. They offer the asking price, preparing for the next step of their journey. Hours later, the house is bought by a corporation offering thousands over the asking price in cash. This has not become a rarity. For millions of Americans, the American dream of home ownership has evaporated into inflated prices and shrinking prospects. Whether buying a home, renting, or planning for a family, the housing crisis harms the younger generation. Millennials and Gen Zs face the least affordable market in modern US history. I have researched housing data from the Federal Reserve, Pew Research, and Harvard um, Joint Center for Housing Studies. I have also been preparing to purchase a home and have experienced the issues firsthand. Today, I will persuade you that restoring houses affordability requires three key actions: recognizing the major causes of affordable housing, limiting large scale private equity purchases, and expanding first time home buyers support and zoning reforms. Let us begin by understanding why housing became so unaffordable. First, we must understand the major causes of the housing affordability crisis. The Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas in 2024 reports that mortgage payment relative to income are the highest they have been since the 1980s to, due to low supply, raising interest rates, and increased investor activities. According to a 2024 report from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, millions of homeowners are locked into ultra low interest rates. During COVID, selling now would result in doubling or tripling the interest they would pay on a new mortgage. This has demolished supply. At the same time, raising prices have made a down payment difficult for renters and new home buyers. This has led to even couples who have saved responsibly and inability to access the market like us. This issue with the system is that despite being the generation that has saved the best, the system is systematically against new buyers. One of the biggest barriers is corporate ownership. Secondly, the government must limit large scale corporate purchases to single family homes. Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies in 2024 confirms that institutional investors purchasing large numbers of homes have reduced the supply for families and prices. As highlighted in 2024, Harvard Housing report private equity firms buy thousands of homes in cash. They can offer asking prices with little restrictions. This has left the ordinary buyers unable to compete. These homes are transitioned into rentals. This contributes to locking families out of the ownership and has resulted in a cycle of high rent and inability to save for purchases or the ability to build equity. Some argue that investors increase the renter supplies. However, Harvard's report shows that in many markets, investors owner reported properties would allow families to purchase homes. This would bring fairness to the market. But limiting investors is not enough. We need to empower families directly. Finally, we must expand first time home buyers programs and promote zoning reform to increase supply. Pew Research Center in 2024 reports that one-third of U.S. households are cost burdened by housing, especially renters, and young adults. Public support for interventions is growing. According to Pew Research in 2024, down payment assistance first-time homebuyers credits are accessible loans help families break into the market. Zoning reforms allow constructions of affordable housing and increase supply long term. Some states have already implemented this, including California and Oregon, who have legalized doubles in areas that were previously only single family. A balanced approach supporting buyers and increased supply is the only solution to restoring fairness. Let me conclude by tying these key ideas together. Today, I showed that restoring affordability requires understanding the causes of the crisis, limiting corporate bulk purchases of homes, and expanding programs for first-time buyers while increasing housing supplies. By taking these steps, the federal government can reverse the housing crisis and make the American dream achievable again. If we want a good future where young families can buy homes without competing with businesses, we must enact policies that put people first. Housing is a key part of life, not an investment for Wall Street. Thank you.